Good morning, good morning, good morning. Yes, sir. Jamie, welcome to the Daily Grind. How you doing out there this morning? Good, I hope. Hope you're having a great morning. Hope you have a great day. All day, today. Hey. So for those of you who read my post on Prayer Rock Inspiration, this might be like a little bit of a repeat for you, but I think this is worth putting on here, so I'm going to have at it. I'm going to tell you this story about this guy that got shipwrecked on this island. He got shipwrecked on this island, and man, he did all kinds of stuff to try to get rescued, and he just couldn't. He didn't have no radio, no phone, nothing. It was just a deserted island out in the middle of the Pacific, and there he was. So he spent a long time kind of depressed, and then finally one day he just said, I got to get moving. If I'm going to be here, I got to take care of myself. And he worked and he worked and he worked his butt off, and he built this hut to live in. Out of the palm trees and whatever he could do, however he could do it, he just built it. And he had himself a nice little hut. If it rained, it stayed dry in there, and he could have himself a little fire in there, and it was a place to live. He learned what was edible out on the island, and he would gather his food, and he was doing all right. He was there for a few years, and one morning he was out gathering food, and he seen smoke, and he just, oh no, and he ran home as fast as he could. And there was his hut burning to the ground, and he just lost it. He just fell on his knees crying. He worked so hard to build that hut, and he just didn't know if he had it in him again. And he just couldn't believe it. He's like, oh my God, this is the absolute worst thing that could ever happen. My hut burnt down. I gotta be out in the elements again. And he was just devastated. Thought it was the absolute worst thing that could happen. And then, an hour or so later, everything was all done, he could see this ship off in the distance, and he'd never seen one, and he was all excited, like, oh my God. And the ship was coming right to the island. And it got up as close as it could, and it launched a little dinghy to send somebody over to the island and pick him up. And he got rescued, and he couldn't believe it. He just could not believe it. He'd been there for so long. And when he got on board, he said to the captain, he says, how did you find me? And the captain said, we saw your signal fire. So you see, he thought this was the absolute worst thing that could ever happen, was his hut burning down. And it was absolutely the best thing that could have happened, because it burnt down. That ship was close enough to see that smoke. They thought it was a signal fire, and they went and got him. So you don't know what's around the next corner. You don't know when you think it's the absolute worst thing that could happen in your life. It could be setting you up for the absolute best thing that happened in your life. You just don't know. Don't lose hope. Don't lose faith. Just keep on going. Yeah, sometimes things happen and it kind of devastates us, and it's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. But don't take it as the worst thing that's happening, because you just don't know. Some of the things that happened in my life that I thought were the absolute worst turned out to be the best. Turned out that down the road, because that happened, something else better was able to come into my life and just change it for the better. So again, you just don't know. So never give up hope, no matter what's going on. When you think it's the worst, it could be the best. And even if it is something that's bad happening, eventually you're going to get through it. And on the other side, you'll gain something from it. You'll gain a better perspective on life. You'll gain a little strength. You'll gain something. That's been my experience. Every time I've gone through something difficult, I've become stronger. I've gained a little more knowledge about how life works, or something. Or there has been times, like I said, when I thought it was the absolute worst. It was the absolute best thing that could have happened in my life. Just changed it for the better. So listen, I hope this helped you out. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow, chummy. Over.